There's one story that always sticks in my mind, and it's not this particular airplane. It's a Grumman Avenger, a TBM that was a World War II torpedo bomber. And this old gentleman, elderly gentleman, came up to me when we were at the show, and he says, I happened to be up on the wing of the airplane. He says, I used to fly these in the war. And I said, yeah. And he said, do you mind if I come up on the wing and look at it? And I said, no problem. Well, most of the airplanes, there's usually a sequence to your hands and your feet. To get up on there, you got to start off with the correct footer. You get your feet crossed and you can't get anywhere. And I was just going to start to explain that to him, and he was up on the airplane instantly. And it happened to be a very windy day, and the reason I had gone up there in the first place was to lock the tail wheel. And anyway, he says to me, do you mind if I sit in the airplane? I said, no, go ahead, get in. Well, he got in and sat down in the pilot's seat, and we were talking, and the wind was blowing really hard out of the north through the cockpit. You know, I wanted to block the wind a little bit. I said, can you close that canopy on that side, because the TBM has individual canopies. And the release and the lever to slide that canopy shut is kind of a tricky release. He never took his eyes off me. He reached over with his right hand, pulled it, and slid it shut. So now I got this chill going down my spine, and I'm thinking about this. Guy hasn't been in an airplane like that for 50 years. And now I was going to test him. So we were sitting there, and like I said, the main reason I went up there was to lock the tail wheel. And the tail wheel lever is down and behind the lock lever, and I've flown the airplane a lot, and I have to almost look down at it every time to get it. And I said, would you mind locking the tail wheel for me? And he didn't take his eyes off me. He reached down and locked the tail wheel. So these guys like that, that's why we're here.